Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This one's from user Throwaway909066. Is it worth it to try to work things out with my boyfriend who is jealous of my stepbrother? My boyfriend, 19 male, and I, 19 female, have been dating for just over a year. We're both in university and currently taking online classes due to the lockdown. When they announced the transition to online classes, I decided to move back to my mom's, about an hour and a half away. My town is a bit of a student town. There aren't many grocery delivery services and I don't drive. I didn't want to rely on a reduced bus service. My boyfriend tried to convince me to move in with him, but I refused because I didn't like the idea of being an illegal tenant in a house with 4 guys and 1 bathroom. My boyfriend was not happy about this. I've been back for 3 weeks and things have been tense, especially surrounding my stepbrother, 22 male. My mom remarried when I was 15 and she moved her new husband and his son in. I've known stepbrother, SB, for 5 years and our relationship was always friendly but distant. He's lived at home the entire time and worked as a bartender prior to the lockdown. Ever since I moved back, boyfriend has been on my case about spending too much with my stepbrother. He gets really upset because we drive around aimlessly every day. I'm on a learner's permit and stepbrother is helping me practice while the streets are empty. And the fact that we hang out and watch stuff together. The weather was nice this week and stepbrother and I decided to eat our lunches in the backyard, picnic style. Boyfriend freaked out when he realized, accused me of going on lockdown dates behind his back. I didn't even tell him this. I guess he stalked stepbrother's Instagram story. And it wasn't a date. We are going into week 5 of lockdown, bored out of our minds and doing anything possible for a slight change of pace. Boyfriend called me yesterday and told me that he was unhappy, felt disrespected, and that I needed to make a change to keep the relationship. He told me that stepbrother and I are not like regular siblings. We didn't grow up together and so he's afraid things will escalate between us. I think this is gross. My stepbrother is not someone I would ever consider dating and I'm certain he feels the same. Boyfriend told me that I would need to stop hanging out with my stepbrother and spend more time FaceTiming and texting. Currently, we FaceTime every day, minimum 1 hour, but he said his ideal would be 3 to 4 hours. I think this is crazy, and part of me wants to tell him to shove it. But we had a great relationship before this, and another part of me wants to fight and save it. I know my boyfriend, and I'm fairly sure he is acting like this because he's still upset that I didn't move in with him. But it's going on week 4, and I'm not sure how much more I can handle. What should I do? Well, it's a difficult situation to handle because your boyfriend's just being insecure. He's acting like an idiot, but he's being insecure. You tell him to shove it, he might react poorly and be like, okay, then we're done or something. Also, the fact that he thinks your relationship with your stepbrother might escalate into something, which I'm pretty sure he means cheating, I would say is a red flag because he might be thinking of escalating something he's got going on somewhere. That's the weird part. When somebody accuses another one of possibly cheating, it's because they're projecting what they're doing themselves. On top of that, he wants you to FaceTime with him 3 to 4 hours a day? What else did he do with his time? Does he have a life? I mean, besides your relationship and studying, does he have any hobbies or anything that he could do, to kind of fill the time where you don't want to be FaceTiming? Because honestly, I get it. You're in love, you want to spend as much time as possible with someone, but forcing them to FaceTime you for 3 to 4 hours a day is too much. Anyways, my commentary's gone long enough already, so let's move on to the community comments to see what kind of advice they gave OP. Cassilian Warren says, FaceTiming for 3 to 4 hours a day? That's a part-time job. That's completely unreasonable. Your boyfriend sounds exhausting. It seems like he thinks your job is to constantly pander to his insecurities. In my experience, you can't reason with someone who is this jealous and controlling. They either learn their lesson after they've been dumped a few times and mature a little, or they just never get better. You don't have some kind of duty to teach him to be a mature and trusting partner, if that's what you're asking. You never need a reason to break up with someone. OP responds, thank you. This resonated with me, especially not having to teach him to be a normal boyfriend. Single War 5 says, dude, you're finally seeing who your boyfriend really is. He wanted you to live with him so he could monitor you. OP responds, I didn't even consider this, but you may be right. We have fought about this. He has alluded to feeling like the situation was out of his control. Would have been Wolfgang says, if you really feel like your boyfriend is a good dude and there are no other red flags for you, put him in his place over this. Be firm and clear. Quote, I was clear on why I didn't want to move in with you. I do not want to live with 4 men, let alone with 1 bathroom. That topic is done with. It should no longer be an issue. Regarding my stepbrother, your reaction to him is inappropriate. He may not be blood related, but he is my sibling. I do not appreciate you implying inappropriate things about our relationship. I will continue to spend time with my stepbrother, especially while in lockdown, and you need to accept that our relationship is familial, as it should be. I personally feel his demand that you need to spend 3 to 4 hours a day FaceTiming is excessive. You are separate people and have separate lives, and that is okay. You should be able to go a day or 2 without contact every once in a while, especially in a healthy, trusting relationship. People need space on occasion, even from those they love. Just because it's lockdown and we're all comparatively occupied doesn't mean you need to be available all the time. I personally feel a lot of his behavior is unacceptable, but you have a wider context to your relationship and him as a person. He may just need to be forced to confront his negative behavior, thought processes that could be more prevalent during the weird time that is lockdown. OP responds, thank you. We are all on edge and stressed, so I'm sure this is exacerbated by the current situation. I think I'll essentially copy and paste what you've written. It's exactly what I want to communicate to the point. Well, on this case, I absolutely agree with the first commenter that said that you cannot reason with insecurities and jealousy because those are emotional responses to a situation, not logical. So trying to reason with them, it's very difficult, if not impossible. So yeah, I agree that this is something that people learn after they've been dumped a few times or they just never change. The thing is, like they say, they don't have a duty to teach them how to be a proper partner. That's something that they should do by themselves. So in that regard, I would do what OP's saying in her last response, that she should just copy-paste what this commenter said that she should say, and then let him deal with it. And if he doesn't want to deal with it, then it might be a good thing to be like, okay, then I guess we need to take a break for as long as this health crisis is going, and we should try to revisit the relationship once we can get together again. No promises, of course. That's what I would do. What about you guys? What do you think about the community comments in this case? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? So while you think about that, let's continue with the update to see what OP ended up doing. After I posted, I took some time to read the comments and form a plan. I texted my boyfriend telling him essentially that I needed a bit of space to take a breather and reevaluate. I made it clear that I didn't want to break up, but felt like I was always being monitored and I wanted to make a game plan to have a healthy communication through this lockdown. He called me super upset and accused me of choosing my stepbrother over him. I told him that it wasn't about my stepbrother. It's not like I choose stepbrother. He's literally just someone I get along with who I can hang out with during the lockdown. I explained to him that it was not like I was spending every waking moment with him. I do my homework in the morning, we hang out in the afternoon, and my evening time is divided between the 4 of us: mom, stepdad, stepbrother, and FaceTiming boyfriend. My boyfriend then accused me of doing special boyfriend activities with my stepbrother. He told me that it was always his dream to teach me to drive. He doesn't even have his permit. Am I supposed to wait around for him to get it? Also, apparently me teaching stepbrother how to make bread, which is also stupid because I was going to make the bread to begin with, and stepbrother helped by moving the heavy mixer, eating half the almond slices, and taking pictures for Instagram. He also screamed at me for not moving in, saying how all this would have been prevented if we were living together. I told him that I have no interest in living somewhere that I am not allowed to be. I can't afford a fine from bylaw, and if I were to get kicked out, it would be more difficult to find my way home since I don't drive. In the end, I told my boyfriend that I would not give up my relationship with my stepbrother, who is part of my family and a genuinely nice guy, to ease my boyfriend's insecurities and cater to his demands. I told my boyfriend that I needed time to cool down and that I'd talk to him in a few days. That was all on Friday, and today I reached out to see how he was. He was still pissed at me and accusatory, so I basically told him that this wasn't working and I want to break up. I did it over text and then blocked him, which probably makes me an a-hole. But I literally couldn't deal with any more of him yelling at me and insulting my family. Anyway, thanks to everyone who commented. I'm really sad this is the outcome and I've been crying a lot, but I'm also kind of relieved. Wow, OP, your ex-boyfriend was one huge knot of insecurities. I mean, really, like screaming at you over the phone? Who the hell does he think he is, man? You don't do that to your partner. You don't scream. That's when you have no arguments. Also, what's this whole thing about accusing you of doing special boyfriend things with your stepbrother? I'm sorry, I did laugh at that part, because it's just ridiculous. I do agree with what you did about breaking up with him, because it is the healthier option for you, I mean for your mental health of course, and also hopefully he understands that he can't be this controlling and insecure in a relationship. He needs to find security within himself. However, I don't agree with how you did it. Breaking up over text is a crappy move and that does make you an a-hole. Even if you couldn't deal with him anymore, even though your boyfriend behaved like a totally insecure a-hole the whole time, the least he deserves is to be broken up, not face to face because you can't do it, but either over the phone or FaceTime. But over text, I don't like that. But of course, that's what I wouldn't do. Anyways, what about you guys? How do you feel about this last part? Let me know in the comment section. And so we've reached the end of the video. I truly hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to reach our goal of 100,000 subscribers. Also, if you feel like chatting with others from this community, you can always join my Discord server and check out my subreddit. I'll leave the links in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video.